Hello, and welcome to Life After 3D. Yeah. Um, the more observant of you, those of you that aren't blind, will have noticed I have a big tubey thing on my wrist. Let's cover that first because it's sort of like a semi-funny story. Um, and then move on to some of the other stuff. Now, I managed to screw my hand up. I was out last weekend celebrating my birthday because my birthday was on the Monday. But celebrating a birthday on the Monday is rubbish. So I decided to move that celebration to the weekend after. I didn't do it the weekend before because it was a friend of mine's birthday around that one, so it made more sense, right? So anyway, I was out with some friends on the Friday night. Most of the first part of the night I was just on my own, just sitting on my own, nobody out. Back into the night, I'd got a drink in, and I went to a place called Freemasons in Concert, and went to the door having a cigarette. And there's Matt, who runs Steel Time Music, and Brendan, a good friend of mine, turns up. So they both buy me a pint, right? So there's now 3 pints standing. I look round about 2 minutes later to my left, and there's my friend Adam Curry and Manny. So there's another couple of pints landing on the bar. So there's now 5 pints standing on the bar. Bear in mind, I'd already been drinking since about 9 o'clock. And this is after midnight, 1 in the morning time. So I think, all right, fair enough. And I literally got a sip of the first pint, and it was like, right, you've got 20 minutes for everybody to drink up. Challenge accepted, motherfucker. So I did, and I necked all 5 pints. Not to be, recommended, to be honest. But, free beer was free beer. Felt all right, decided in my infinite wisdom to go to a nightclub and have a couple of double vodkas. Eventually I'm standing there there's only me and Adam left, and I'm like, mate, what the fuck are we doing here at this time in the morning? Just no. So went home. At this point, the air started hitting me on the way walking down home. I was fine till I got roughly about the top of my street. And I'm like, yeah, danger, Will Robinson, we need to get home fast. So I got to the house, and there's 3 steps leading up the front door. And at this point, there was 3 sets of 3 steps. So I'm standing there for about 3 seconds. I thought, right, well, we'll obviously go for the middle one. It wasn't the middle one. So I fell sideways, only about 12 inches. And my hand landed on the top step. And I felt fine when I got in. Wasn't until I woke up the next day in absolute screaming fucking agony that I realised something was up. Now, this was in a hell of a lot of pain until this morning. In fact, I was going to go and get it x-rayed. But as it's settling a little bit now, I think it is just a really bad sprain. But it does mean I haven't been able to play on Sunday night or last night. Chance of playing next weekend is pretty slim. Because I'll need to give it a bit of time to make sure it's back to normal. Assuming that it keeps on recovering. So yes, that's why there's a thing on my arm. And this seems to be helping. The first thing I had on was this blue thing that went around my thumb. Now, as the pain is sort of down there, this was actually making it worse. So once I put this on, it was fine. Anyway, so what have I been up to? If you have, if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, you'll know that the last week and a half I've been playing with some guided AI. It's Disco Diffusion. That's all I'm using. A lot of people have asked me what I was using, as if I was using something special. No. The thing is, a lot of them have said the same thing, that I'm getting better results than they can get. How am I doing it? Unfortunately, the answer is not one they want to hear. It's a hell of a lot of work, not just using the prompts, but seriously messing around with the settings and the variables. Because remember, I do have a background in programming, so, and I always call myself a hammer programmer. I'm the sort of guy that go, what happens if we change this variable and try and make it do something it's not supposed to do? So I've managed now to get a level of control out of it that a lot of people aren't. Still early days. You'll see a video it'll either go before this one or just after this one of the stuff that I've done so far. If you've seen it on Facebook and Twitter and stuff, you've already seen these images. I'm having a couple of days off at the moment because otherwise I'll end up doing more damage to this hand. You don't realise how much you use your left-handed when you're right-handed until you can't use the bloody thing. So what's the purpose behind all this? Don't really know, to be honest. I'm going to be frank with you. It was something that seemed rather cool and it sparked my interest. I realised a couple of things straight out the gate. That people who are getting the best out of these guided AIs, where you give it, say, a text prompt or whatever, are not neurotypical people, right? Anybody who has a non-neurotypical mind, and I can just hear my phone ringing downstairs, non-neurotypical people they think around more corners. And the one thing I do not have is a normal mind. So to me, I try things that other people that maybe wouldn't sort of dawn on them to try and all that. That's one of the reasons why I'm getting better results. Now, what I'm going to do with it, fuck it if I know. I tried an experiment last night that I was hoping was going to bear fruit, but didn't. I've had some quite spectacular failures doing this. In fact, at some point, I might do a video of all the really screwed up shit it's pumped out when I've been playing around with variables and stuff. So it's, and the phone's still ringing. You won't be able to hear it, but I can. And it's off-putting. I tried something and thought, okay, what happens if I put a depth map into it as a guide image, a start image? Don't do that. Really, just don't do that. It turns out terrible. So I've tried all sorts of crazy stuff. And I've still got a list of things to try. It's starting to do what I wanted to do in the way I wanted to do it, in the style I wanted to do it. But I need that extra level of control. Now, obviously, as my hands are screwed, this makes life a lot easier if you're doing a concept for something. If you have something to start with, and then just do a bit of paint over the top. Boom. Is it possible to monetize this in any other way other than releasing a fucking tutorial? I have no idea. I'm being honest, I have no idea with this. But it is fun and highly addictive. On the trying to make an income front, still absolutely no movement whatsoever. But this is sort of a dead week because here in the UK we've got bank holidays galore due to the Queen's Jubilee. Lots of people are off work, and including the kids are off school. So I can't really get a lot of stuff done. So I wouldn't expect, the next video to be full of amazing stuff. That's basically what I'm doing at the moment. Is some of it is just trying to recover my hand a bit and give it time to heal, But, I would say give something like Disco Diffusion. There's a few other ones out there. If you want a really simple one you can get for your phone, I think it's called Wombat or Wombu or something like that. I'll put a link down there or the name of it down there somewhere. And that's just a case of all you can do is say prompt in this style. So it's like an idiot version, but it gives you an idea of how they work and where it puts importance on certain words and placements and stuff. It's like, I think off the top of my head, you'll get vastly different results from putting head rather than face. Most people can't get good organics out of it or good concept for an organic. I've managed that, but again, I've done a lot of playing with settings and there's a lot of crazy shit going in workflow wise to get it to do this. So it's not an out-of-the-box solution. The current term, I'm not outlining any of my prompts or what I'm doing because it's still early days. Plus, at the moment, it gives me a little bit of an edge. And let's face it, I need a fucking edge right now. I had a couple of people, say, does it not give you a bit of a weird feeling? That you can now get concept art there, and what happens to guys like me that are concept artists, they're saying to me, if I don't have a job. Now, the evil part of my mind is tempted to say, welcome to my fucking world, motherfucker, because I have no income now. But that's evil. But look, this is going to happen. I've said this in videos before. More and more things will be automated. They've already got a better one at Google that popped up 2 or 3 days ago that is so good, they refuse to release it to the public because they realise the implications of the ability to say, okay, I want a picture of Barack Obama getting a blowjob of Hillary Clinton while in the middle of a gangbang, right? If you put that and it looks photoreal, which this does, that is dangerous. They're not quite sure what the legal ramifications are, but they know that it's a bad idea to release it. So there's already better stuff than we're working with. I wouldn't be surprised if they roll that into like an image search. Instead of searching for an image, you'd say, well, I want a photograph of Johnny Depp, right? And it would generate a one as opposed to just showing you a list of images, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting stuff to play with. Give it a go. But that's basically what I've been doing this week, had an entire weekend for my birthday. If the Queen can have 2 birthdays, I can spend an entire weekend celebrating. It's my son's birthday on Thursday. At the time of recording, he's 17. It's always fun when I have a birthday because whatever birthday money I get disappears inside of a week. Because it's mine on the 23rd, my dad's on the 26th, then it's my son's on the 2nd. So the next 2 birthdays wipe out anything I get. So I always end up worse off after my birthday than I was beforehand, bizarrely. I am beyond the red line financially now, and by that I mean there's a certain amount of money, I think I mentioned last time, that when I get to that, although theoretically it should last another few months, another couple of months, it never does. It lasts 30 to 40 days. Every single time I've got to this amount, bills rain out the sky, expense rains out the sky until there's nothing left. So I know the clock, it be a ticking, right? Will anything arise? I like to think so, but you know, bit of a realist at the moment. Everybody is skint. Everybody's having to tighten the belts a bit. You know, it's like we haven't had the heating on in this house now for over a month, and it's still ticking over on standing charge like a bloody fruit machine. So there you go. And I'm not the only person that's living like that at the moment. So I don't need sympathy. I need a solution. Anyway, this has been Life After 3D. I can't remember what episode it is. And I will see you all next time. Well, hopefully, we've not got this on, right? That'd be great, wouldn't it? Right. Bye-bye.